Well, good morning, everybody. It's good to see you. It's Saturday. It's time for pre-PETS, and so we have a really kind of a jam-packed day today, but it is going to be fun, so we're glad you're joining us. I just want to let you know that we're going to be going through a lot of information today, so jot down whatever you need. We're obviously going to go over it again when we get to Los Angeles next week. So myself and my cohort, Naomi actually will be doing most of it. And then, but for now, I wanted to turn it over to our district governor-elect. That will be Randy Hart, and Randy will take it from here. Go for it, Randy.
Well, awesome. Thank all of you for showing up early on Saturday morning, so we can get ourselves prepared for PETS, which is obviously happening next week, and we're on a hot track to get to PETS. Everything that we do in pre-PETS and everything that you've done up to this point, as far as training and everything, is going to lend itself very, very well to being prepared for PETS. And what I'm hoping for at PETS is a very, very positive experience for each and every one of you, and for you to come out of PETS very charged up and ready to go to lead your year. But again, a lot of what, and I know many of you have been very, very involved with all the training and stuff, and you're going to find when you get to PETS that's going to pay huge dividends, and that you're going to be able to have an open mind, and you'll be able to receive information and stuff, and not trying to worry about how to get things done, where to get things done, and that sort of thing. PETS will be a enlightening experience, I think, for most of you. And there's 7 other districts, I think it's 7 other districts that are participating, or 8 districts participating in PETS, range mostly in California, but we have groups from Arizona also that'll be participating in PETS this year. We'll have you'll be one of somewhere close to 500 just PEs. There'll probably be a total of somewhere around 650 of us all together there. So it's going to be a large crowd, and we'll be going in 20 different directions. And but I'll talk more about PETS in a little bit. I just wanted to welcome you, and like Naomi mentioned, we got a ton of stuff to get through today in order to make sure that you're all tracking for LA. So Naomi, I'll turn it back over to you, or whatever slides we got next. Do we have the org chart in there, Naomi, or do we just, yeah, there's the org chart that I wanted to talk about just briefly, because I think, picture tells 1,000 words, but this is your district leadership team, and all the different chairs and committees that we have out there, and how folks fit into that big picture. For example, this year we have a chief of staff. Of course, that's Ted, and Ted is our district governor nominee designate. So Ted will get a chance to practice a little bit this year before he heads into his DGN and DGE year. But what I tried to do, and with the chief of staff, try it with, well, just to be quite frank, I know Ted's strengths, I know my weaknesses, so hence the reason why you see the chart as the way it is. And whenever you look over at the AGs, the AGs are probably, not probably, they are the most important component for me in leadership. And they will be heavily engaged in all the club business, and be there for the clubs whenever they need help. Another kind of new one here is the new club advisor that we're doing this year, and thankfully we got Laura Sealquist that's going to head up that position. Lane is going to continue with membership. Corey Kawamoto, Big Island, Bruin Club of Gila will be our treasurer. Finance committee is Phil Sammer. District secretary is going to be Sharon, and I'm not going to read through all the list there. And of course, Benson, our district trainer again this year. And then the other big heavy piece is the foundation in international service that we all got. So Naomi will push the slide on out to everybody so you can kind of see how everything fits. You can see there's blanks and some of the blocks that we're still working towards filling. And Dale may already have, for example, folks in mind for the annual fund, district grants, global grants, but letting him make that call along with Ted on as the chief of staff filling in all those blanks. Even though we do have Ryan Char as our youth service, I just missed that blank there altogether. But anyway, next slide. And these are our AGs, and of course, all the districts or areas that they're representing. Same thing that was on the org chart. Okay. And Naomi, you have the video to play from Jennifer Jones at the that she did at International Assembly.
The sound is really soft on this one, so I got to listen carefully.
You don't imagine yesterday. You imagine tomorrow.
Can you hear this?
Imagine a world without polio. Imagine a world with clean water for everyone. Imagine a world free of disease. A world where every child learns to read. Imagine kindness and hope and love and peace. And that's, my dear friends, what our theme is. Imagine Rotary.
Okay, so the sound on that one was really soft. So you will hear Jennifer on Sunday, I believe. So you'll hear about her theme later on. So for her theme, that picture that you saw with the dots, okay, this is the explanation of her logo. Okay, so it was done by someone in Australia, Indigenous person. And this is to link the Melbourne Convention in 2023. The circle is to connect everyone. The dots around are people, 7 dots for 7 of the Rotary areas of focus. And then the circle with the 7 dots is the navigation star, our guiding light. The green solid line is a digging stick. I guess that's in Australia for people working hard, people of action. The colors, purple, green, and white, celebrate DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. And also the purple is polio, green is environment, white is peace. Okay, and then this represent the empowerment and newness of the colors for the women's movement. Okay, and then so her key message that she had was to engage members, to embrace change, open doors, and deepen relationships. And then she says, we all have dreams. Acting on them is a choice we make when we have an organization. We can make it happen. Imagine, you don't imagine yesterday, you imagine tomorrow. Okay, so her initiatives this year, these are her initiatives. And you'll hear more about this, but it's to encourage a welcoming, inclusive community with DEI. So DEI is learning about them, So that awareness, see how it matters to your club. And so that's where, when we go into the action plan, and you're talking about engaging and reaching, DEI plays into that. So really awareness of DEI in your clubs. So having a committee on DEI, Randy does have a committee for the district. And so that district committee will help with getting information out. So taking action in your club, your community, reflecting the demographics of your community within your club. And she's also going to continue Shaker's initiative on girls empowerment. Okay, so these are the initiatives for next year, and I'm sure she will touch upon this at the Sunday speech. Okay, Benson.
Okay. All right, so good. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna do our little kind of icebreaker, get to know each other. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split you guys up into little breakout rooms of 4 people. All right, and so the assignment for that little group is just to do, so it's not that simple, but here it is. It's just to tell your Rotary story. And if you don't know your Rotary story is 1, how you got into Rotary, and 2, why you're still in Rotary. All right, so think about that a second. How did I get into Rotary and why am I still in Rotary? All right, so I'm hoping we've got about 15 minutes to do this. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to do this twice. So you're going to be in a group of only 4 people. So I'm hoping we'll be able to get through it. The first section, the first group time frame, I'm going to give you about 5 or 6 minutes, and then we're going to bring you back and I'm going to reshuffle you guys out to go again. Okay, any questions about that? Your Rotary story, how I got into Rotary and why I'm still in Rotary. So if everybody could just take a couple of minutes, I know some of you guys could go on and on and on about that, but if you could keep it down to like 2 minutes or less, then everybody in your group will have a chance to speak. Okay, any questions? Good, I like you guys. You guys are really smart. All right, so go to your room and we'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes and we're gonna do it one more time. So the object, of course, is to get to know people in your room. I'm hoping everybody's seeing that little thing on their screen that says you're invited to a room. Yeah, I think it worked because people are leaving, which is, of course, what we want. So hang on, Randy. So that includes you, Randy. Okay, Naomi, we're actually gonna do this. I tell you what, let's do the poll. That'll be more fun. Okay. All right. Hey, how was that? Pretty fun. I know you didn't have enough time, right? What I've learned about like Rotary people is they never have enough time to talk. So whenever we can, give people time to talk, it's always good. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I was gonna put you into one more group one more time, but we're running short of time. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna launch out this little poll, and it's really a Rotary trivia. And so we're gonna have just a little fun. Now, if you know the answers, it'll take you about 2 minutes. If you don't know the answer, you can guess in about 2 minutes. So let's start this. Uh-oh. You are logged in for another device. Okay, hang on a second. Okay. Let me see if I can get my poll out here. Well,
where do we vote?
Hang on a second. Well, I had a poll, but then when I want to launch it out, it says I'm logged in for another device, so my poll session is inactive. Okay. Oh well. Yeah, that's how it goes, right? I mean, ability to adapt, which is actually the next thing we're going to talk about. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna put you guys one more time into a breakout room. I'm going to reshuffle you guys again. So you'll have this time I'm going to add more groups into it. So your group is actually going to be smaller. So same thing, right? is talk about your Rotary story. And the point of it really is just to sort of get to know each other, so that when you go to LA, you've got some friends there who you'll know ahead of time because you had a chance to work with them. And so these groups are going to be a little bit smaller. If you didn't get a chance to talk in last group, insist that you talk first. And then we'll see you guys really back here in about 6 or 7 minutes, okay? So one more time on the breakouts. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so the 4 priorities, you have heard a lot about this for the past couple of years, and we will be going into the 4 priorities at PETS. So we wanted to make sure that we refresh what you know about the 4 priorities and what this is. So just know that the 4 priorities from the action plan, this was set about 2 years ago. So we're in.
Naomi, here, the wrong slide is up.
Right. So the next one is the video. So I'm going to play a video. So the video. This is the video on the priorities. Okay. Here we go.
We are people of action.
And when there's a challenge to confront, people of action come together and make a plan.
Even as we continue to help address global challenges, we're facing one of our own. When Rotary surveyed people around the world, we found a big gap between who we are as an organization today and who we need and want to be.
Our foundation is strong, but Rotary is ready to show that we can grow and become even stronger.
So we established our new action plan as a roadmap for how we can think differently, be more inclusive, and become a stronger, more effective Rotary.
The plan has 4 priorities. We're going to increase our impact because now more than ever, the world needs innovative planning and proved solutions. We'll be more data-driven, not just serving communities and doing good works, but measuring what we do so we can scale up our successes. And share more compelling stories about the good we do.
We will expand our reach by welcoming new people into Rotary and finding new ways to connect with people who share our commitment to making our communities and ourselves better. We'll enhance participant engagement by making sure everyone who connects with us gets even more out of their experiences than they put in.
And we'll increase our ability to adapt, because staying ahead of change while staying true to who we are is exactly how we make sure we have the staying power it takes to lead a new century of change.
Rotary's action plan is ambitious, but we can do it.
If we work together on new ways to think, plan, and take action, we will bring our communities and our organization to new heights.
Our legacy is in the making. Ready to do your part?
Let's show the world what it means to be people of action.
Okay, what do you think? So the video kind of put it all into perspective on where the 4 priorities are. So when you hear action plan, 4 priorities, these are the 4 priorities. And when you go to PETS, the core sessions that you will be going to, each core session is on one of these priorities. And at that core sessions, you'll be sharing some ideas, getting ideas, and trying to think about outside of the box about how we can increase our impact or expand our reach or engage participant engagement and being able to adapt. So we wanted to make sure that we refresh your memory on what the 4 priorities are. And hey, Benson, shall we go into the 4 priorities? We have some time to talk about the 4 priorities and what kind of ideas that we can put into each category.
Yeah, sure. We could do that. I can give you a little bit more background on these 4 priorities. Okay, so when they put these priorities together a few years back, each one of these priorities had a specific kind of driving force to help them put that together. And so increase your impact really came from polio, right? So when we decided in 1984 to launch out and try to make a difference in the world regarding our effect on polio, we basically knocked polio out. With the exception of a few cases in the Middle East, basically we took polio down. So that impact was huge. And so that was sort of the driving force behind the whole increase your impact piece, right? So expand your reach. Expand your reach came from our desire to always want to expand membership, right? Because as membership goes, when membership expands, we're able to do more. We're able to involve more people. So when people talk about expanding our reach, that was really driven a lot by our desire as an organization to expand membership. And then the third one, enhanced participant engagement. The driving force behind that was really to try to engage everybody within our clubs. And so you guys know, because you're the president-elects now, that there are people that are in your club that are kind of sleepers, right? I mean, they might come to a meeting now and then, you might hear from them now and then, but they're not really active, they're not really engaged. And so part of the challenge for us as Rotarians is to go in and dig into our clubs, engage those people that may not be engaged probably as much, and then to sort of also to spread out our little sphere of influence, the people we talk to, putting those strategic alliances with our community groups out there, with other nonprofits, to do the work that Rotary wants to do. And then the last one, of course, was increasing our ability to adapt. Now, I know when they organized this or put together these 4 priorities, that they weren't thinking that we're going to have this huge global pandemic that is just about going to shut down an entire planet and really going to force us to adapt. So that ability to adapt, like you saw in the presentation there, in the video, is that we need to be nimble like that. We need to be able to have the ability to adapt. And part of what we're going to go over with you guys over the next year is really developing club resiliency, right? Where the pandemic has caused all of us to shift gears, right? Everybody had to go online. Now we're starting to come back. Some people in person, still kind of doing hybrid. So we have a new reality in which we need to deal with. Now, I know, like in my own personal club, the hit was pretty hard for us. And so now we're starting to develop ways in which we can have more resiliency as a club, so that we can go on and do Rotary's work regardless of what the situation is going on out there in the world and in the public. So so anyway, I wanted to give you a little bit of information on that, so that you'll understand the motivation of where these 4 strategic priorities came from. Okay, Naomi. So what would you like from here? Do you want to do a discussion or breakout, or what would you like to do?
Okay, so if we can, now that you've kind of heard what the 4 priorities are, let's open it up for questions on any of the 4 priorities. You should have gotten the 4 core session information from Randy. So that's what we will be discussing in the 4 sessions that you have, 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday. So were there any questions on any of the 4 priorities?
And Naomi, folks are thinking about that, just, from my observation on where we have challenges and we need to improve. Whenever we're looking at increase our impact, the last bullet there, improve our ability to achieve and measure impact, deals directly with PI and goals. Same with expand our reach. When we build awareness, PI just becomes so vitally important in each one of these aspects that it's something that I think that we need to provide a lot of attention and effort on and going forward. Just my 2 cents.
Can you explain PI for some of us that don't understand the acronym?
Oh, thanks, Larry. And I am the world's worst at throwing out acronyms after spending 38 years in the military. I'm acronym embedded in my head. This public information, PR, that's what is in getting our message out there to the public, so the public knows the great things that we're doing. Thanks for asking, Larry.
I'd like to thank you for the questions at the bottom of each of those presentations. They're good thoughts to go prepared to the PETS event.
And so did you say that the core 4 came in an email?
Yes, yeah.
And this is just a brief curiosity. Benson, you mentioned that the 4 core were determined before the pandemic hit?
Oh, yeah, long before. It was in the middle of last decade. So, yeah, they started actually when Rotary decided that they wanted to take a little, shift in direction. They went out there and started talking to clubs in, I think it was like 2014, 15, 16, right in there. And then these strategic priorities, we've had them actually, I think since 2018 or 19, because I know that they launched them out there and it was going to be 5 years and we were going to focus on them. And so I believe we're in our 3rd year of working on them. So yeah, so it was pretty dramatic for them to put in ability to adapt. And of course they didn't know we were going to have a pandemic. So, all of these, the 4 strategic priorities really, although they're really broad and, but they do encompass a lot of things that Rotary is interested in promoting and improving. It really comes down to, how does your club adopt each of those? What kinds of things do you need to do within your own club to expand reach? What kinds of things can you do within your own club to enhance participant engagement within your own members and within your own community? Now, Naomi and I are going to be part of the facilitators at PETS that are going to be driving some of these sessions. And I know for me, I'm not really, I don't really like to hear the sound of my own voice a lot. So I'm going to be actually reaching out. So if you end up in one of my sessions, I will ask you, so what is your thought about that? How do you see that being adapted into your own club? Is this going to be something that that your board and your club members can really embrace? And so I would put some thought into that. Kimo, I see you have your hand up. And if you guys want to, you can click on over here reactions down at the bottom and raise your virtual hand, just kind of like that. You see that? See my hand? So you see what that does is it puts me right to the corner top of the screen. So go ahead and raise your hand if you have a question. But Kimo, I know you had a question, so go for it.
Well, Benson, just briefly, really good presentation. On expand our reach, I kind of think about that. And my original clubs in Petaluma, we had an East Side and a West Side club. And if somebody lived on the East Side or worked on the East Side, say, oh, you go in that club over there. But I don't think that's what it means. I think when we are thinking about expanding our reach, it's not geography. It's more about reaching out to more people through branding and good PR stuff. And what's your take on expanding our reach? Naomi?
If I can jump in, Kimo, from my perspective, a perfect or a very good example of that is what you're doing in North Hawaii in reaching out to the general manager of the Mauna Kea Hotel and that corporate membership. I think that's where we're expanding our reach. So instead of you just staying in the town of Waimea, you've branched out, you've reached out, you've expanded your reach all the way down to the Kona Coast in the Mauna Kea Hotel in corporate membership. I venture to say that North Hawaii's never had a corporate member before, so perfect.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you for the compliment too.
Well, as far as expanding reach, Kim, I mean, you can take that anywhere, any way you want to, but for me, I think for me, it means that it's difficult to expand Rotary, inside Rotary. So like if you're talking to all the people that are in your club and other fellow Rotarians, we can talk about Rotary all day long, but expand and reach means get to start to talk to other people that are not in Rotary, like your neighbors, your friends, your coworkers. And that's why, your Rotary story that we were doing today in breakout groups, that's really the key element of really spreading the word about Rotary, is to tell your story. Like, I'll wear a shirt that says Rotary, or I'll mention Rotary and people say, well, what's that? And then I'll just go into, well, I've been in Rotary X amount of years, and I got in because I started going through the whole story. And then I said, if you have some interest in it, we're going to be painting the homeless shelter next Thursday. So if you want to come down, or next Saturday, come on down. You can meet some other Rotarians, because we're just basically, how I put it, I mean, we're just basically people in our community that want to do good for the community.
And it's also partnering with other people, so expanding your reach with other organizations. And so when you review the handout that Randy sent a couple of days ago, so Craig, your question about those core sessions. So the 4 priorities are broken up into core sessions, and the 4 core sessions are the ones that we're going to have at PETS. So you might want to bring that with you so you can refresh on what those 4 priorities are. So Craig, if you haven't gotten that email from Randy, we need to check your email address, but that was a couple of days, Randy, right? That it came from PETS?
Sure, and I know our emails get lost in the shuffle, and I've tried to keep the amount of emails that I'm sending out to a minimum, so everything I send doesn't go into the spam trap. But if you didn't get it or you can't find it, no sweat. Just send me a note and I'll send it again.
Yep. Okay, so those are the 4 priorities of the action plan, and each priority will be in a core session at PETS. Okay, so we're going to do 10 minutes on foundation with Del Green, and then we'll take a 5-minute break after that. Then for the rest of this session, we will be covering youth service, HRYF membership, what to expect at PETS, goal setting, Rotary Club Central, Rotary Citation, budgeting, and Vibrant Club. So we will cover that in this session up to noon. Okay, so let me share screen, and then Del.
Yeah, Del's just joining us now, so let's get Del up here. Hang on a second.
So for foundation, this is the calendar of things that's going to happen for foundation, and Del can go into these items more. So remember that you will get the slide deck in the President-elect site page, and so you can refresh and look at all of these dates. And there's so much information today, so you can take a break and get some more coffee. And wow, look at Del.
Look at Del. Yeah. Del's got that tie on, but hey, don't be fooled. Del's got shorts and slippers on under that. So
hey, question for dress code for the PETS meeting, or do we need to bring a suit and tie? Since I retired as being a principal, we had a suit and tie burning bonfire before we came to Hawaii. So
Great.
will we, if we need suit and tie, Mr. Larry may have to go out and purchase one. So
Well, okay, so we'll cover that a little
Yeah.
later. But Dell is our chair for the foundation with the district. And so Dell, take it away. I'm going to stop sharing.
Sure. Actually, I have my own PowerPoint. If I can share that.
Go ahead.
You're good to go, Dale.
Well, I've got a new computer, and so I gotta profess that I'm not still kind of learning how to use it. Let's see if I can figure this out here. By the way, it's so good to see everyone. I see a lot of familiar faces, and I got to tell you, I'm pretty envious of all of you because this is a really good time to be a club president. To be a club president with what I believe to be one of the most outstanding Rotary leaders that we have today. And I was going to mention Jennifer Hart, but I was thinking about Randy Hart. So imagine Rotary. So I want to thank all of you for being club presidents this year. As you know, our theme this year is Imagine Rotary. And so as we go forth this year with one of my dear friends, Randy Hart, at the helm of this district, I want us to think about and imagine and dream what we can do to support the foundation and in your communities and your international communities and what have you. And make those dreams come true. In terms of imagining a better Hawaii, we can do this through community service projects, which we can fund through district grants that are available. Through Randy's leadership, the district has decided that it's going to allocate 50% of our district designated funds for district grants. So thank you, Randy, for doing that. One of the things that's super new is that Rotaract clubs now in your communities are also going to be eligible to participate in district grants. And one of the things that you're probably going to hear throughout your PETS experience, and also I'm very envious because I've been to a couple PETS programs, but they're all at Far West PETS, and you guys are now going to get to go and visit a new PETS program, which I understand is going to be super, super exciting. And so I'm so envious of all of you for having had that, or having this opportunity coming up. But think about the impact of our service, the long-term change. And this is kind of a buzzword that you're going to hear probably at your PETS. So imagine, and then make it happen. Think about a better world, not just our local community, but our global community. And we can do this through our international service projects that you can fund through global grants. And also recognize that Rotaract clubs are now eligible to participate in these global grants also. And Rotary has other projects, international projects that we can support, and just Rotary Peace Centers are just one. But again, think about the impact of our service, your service, and make it happen. I mean, imagine the end of polio as you go forward in the next Rotary year, think about how we can observe World Polio Day, which happens to be October 24th every year. So next October 24th, let's do something to support World Polio Day. Promote public awareness, support the Polio Plus Fund. Think about the Bill and Melinda Gates 2-to-1 matches, which is good through the end of currently 2023. And then remember that the Rotary Foundation has asked each of our clubs to contribute at least $1,500 because we're literally this close to the eradication of polio, and make it happen. You know, we can increase our impact by supporting the Rotary Foundation. We can do this through our contributions to the annual fund, which you know are monies that we contribute, and then those monies are invested for 3 years, and then that money comes back to the district. Now you're going to go to PETS and you're going to hear possibly about classmates who give to the foundation and those monies come back 3 years later, kind of like your monies do. But the big difference is that unlike people like Randy Hart and his predecessors, those district governors in the mainland, they decide how all that money gets spent. It gets spent on their pet projects. Well, that's probably not a nice thing to say, but that's kind of how it is. They decide where all that money gets spent, but Randy Hart and his predecessors have decided, you know what, we're going to do it a little bit different. We're going to support the people, the clubs, the members who support the foundation so that your monies, rather than being spent by some pet project that Randy Hart has up his sleeve, is going to be spent by you. So you guys get to decide where that money gets spent. Same thing goes with the Endowment Fund. We can support the Endowment Fund. This is another fund that the Rotary Foundation has, and this is supporting the future work of Rotary. And then we mentioned earlier, we have the Polio Plus Fund, and this is the fund that exists to help us in the final push to eradicate polio worldwide. And then we also have a World Fund where gifts are kind of spent where the greatest need. Now, one of the things to keep in mind, and there are a lot of ways to give, and this is not really the purpose of this particular short presentation, but I just want to remind everybody that we have E-Ray. Every Rotarian every year, we would like to see every Rotarian in the district give at least $25. It's only $25. Of course, we would encourage everybody else to give what they can so that on a per capita basis, everyone has given at least in a club on a per capita basis $100, and that qualifies that club to be an E-Ray club. That is so attainable. Make it, and make it happen. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't involved in meetings to kind of prepare for this, and so I apologize if this is a little disjointed. I did get a chance to log in a little bit earlier, and I saw that we're talking about the strategic priorities and what have you, and so I just wanted to kind of, I'm assuming that you probably went over the vision statement as well, which is part of that, which is good, because keep this in mind as you go through your PETS experience, because this is something you're going to see, I'm going to guess, throughout PETS. But this is also the vision statement that supports the good works that you do locally here in Hawaii and around the world, things that can be done through support of the Rotary Foundation. And these are the strategic priorities that you just went through. And what is under increasing our impact? The first one is the eradication of polio and the leveraging of that legacy. So this directly ties into the Rotary Foundation. You know, there was a wise woman who said, imagine a world without polio. Imagine a world with clean water for everyone. Imagine a world free of disease, a world where every child learns to read. Imagine kindness and hope and love and peace. And that's our theme. So I want to thank everybody for supporting the Rotary Foundation. Thank you, Naomi, for preparing that really great calendar of events, which I know is going to be provided to all of you so that we don't necessarily have to go through them item by item by item, but we intend or expect you all to support these efforts. We will have, as we do every year, Foundation 101, the basics. We'll provide grant qualification for you to qualify. Remember, you have to send 2 people every year to be qualified. Also, if you have a Rotaract club, consider, in fact, not just consider, do invite them to participate in this as well. We will have a 201, kind of a deeper dive event to get a greater impact, greater view of the Rotary Foundation. We will also have a pre-planning meeting to talk about the World Polio Day, which will be on October 24th of next year. And then, of course, we're going to have a big World Polio Day celebration. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I will open it up for really brief questions. Other than that, I'm just going to get out of your hair and let you get on with your beautiful day. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Benson. Thank you, Nomi, for allowing me to be here. Thank you for the governor line. You guys are awesome. Guys and gals are awesome. Mahalo.
Hey, Dell, just a very, very special mahalo for putting that together for us, pal. Great presentation, and thanks for all those kudos. Thank you most of all for your friendship.
Now I'm gonna put on my shorts.
Well, you already got your shorts on though. Now you can just take your suit off. So.
Questions for Dell? Questions for Dell, anybody? Oh, Dell, that was awesome. We wanted to cry when you're talking about the Imagine. It's just pulls at your heartstrings. Okay, no questions? Then we thank you, Dell. Everybody give Dell a hand. We're going to take a 5-minute break.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. We were just talking about the dress code at PETS, and we will cover that a little later on what the dress code is and when to wear the shirts. But I want to go back to this calendar for foundation. So these are the things that you may want to keep in your mind and put on your club calendars. So we went through the grant qualification documents. If you haven't sent them in, we do need those 3 documents and your tax return for last year. There's an event on March 19th, 4 p.m. It's a virtual celebration. Usually we have a foundation dinner or some kind of event to recognize the major donors and people who donate to the foundation. But this is 4 o'clock on Zoom for the entire district at 4 o'clock on March 19th. May 31st is when your final grants reports are due for this year's grants, and you do need that in order to get next year's funds. So make sure that your foundation chair, your treasurer, they're getting their final reports in. And actually the final reports, for your information, is due actually 2 months after you did your project, or no later than May 31st. Okay. June 15th is when your grant application is due. This is for next year. And the reason why it's June instead of August is because the sooner we can get our district grant in, so we'd like to submit it by July 15th. The sooner we get it in, the sooner we can get your money to you so you can do your projects. So if everybody can help by getting in your final reports, so we can get our final district report into Rotary International and get your grant application in by June 15th. So we will cover that at one of the PE meetings on the application form, how to fill it out. But when you have your board meetings with your incoming boards and your assemblies, this is where you can find out what kind of projects you want to do with your grant money. We are still working on that grant allocation breakdown, and we hope to get it to you very soon. But then you can see how much money you got for your grants. Okay. Then let's see. So if you got people who say, no, it's not due until August 1st, please let them know it's June 15th for your grant application. Okay. Then we've got some webinars training for foundation. So you have the foundation chairs on August 29th. And so they'll be talking about what their roles and responsibilities would be for the upcoming months, because we've got the World Polio Day in October and Foundation Month in November. The grant management training in September is for your next, the president after you to qualify. Okay. So we have tentative date. Randy says January 21st for the foundation event, on all islands. So we'll hear more about that to organize that. Okay, so then for youth service, we're going to go into youth service. There's a lot of information about youth service because there are a lot of programs that that this covers. So the chair for this committee is Ryan Char, and he oversees a committee that meets every month with the youth service chairs. So the youth committee is the advisors, the clubs that have Interact, Rotaract, Early Act, HRYF, RILA, Youth Exchange. These are all of the ones that are on that committee that meets every month. So he says that we believe in investing in our future to empower young leaders, help them with leadership skills, and give them opportunities to have cross-cultural experiences. So for Interact, the goal for Interact for next year, build relationships with DOE and faculty advisors, strengthen the clubs, create new clubs. And we have been creating a lot of new clubs recently with the middle school and with the middle school RILA that's happening right now. Do joint projects, looking for clubs to enter the video contest for World Interact Week, and doing joint projects and mentoring. So that mentoring, the Kaka'ako Club is putting together a plan for mentoring. Hey, for Rotaract last year was taken out of the youth service program, but right now we're still shepherding that group. But Rotaract is actually a membership type. There is a Rotaract Council. The chair of the council is a representative from the Rotaract side and the Rotary side, and they meet quarterly. So new clubs that are restarting is one of their goals, doing joint projects, having young professional events, and really trying to get the Rotaract. And once the Rotaract is up and running, they will kind of spin off and do their own thing. And Susie, you have a question?
Yes, I just wanted to, actually, it's not really a question, but I looked at one of the goals that said strengthen the relationships with DOE schools. And I just wanted to point out, it's sort of semantics, but not really, that anytime you say DOE, you leave out charter schools, and charter schools are also public schools. So if that language can be revised, Ryan, to either say DOE and charters or public schools, because you're leaving off 10% of the public school children by that language, because anytime it says DOE, we're automatically cut off from any communication or anything. And I'm just sensitive to that, being a charter school founder and leader and someone very active in Rotary. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, we do have charter schools involved with Interact and advisors and sponsors. So we'll get that slide corrected. Okay, Early Act is something that is not, you won't find it on the Rotary International website because it's not something that is widespread. It's not one of the programs. There's just a few districts that have it. And so our district does have it. Early Act is in the elementary school, age 5 to 13. And so, if you're interested in doing that, Ryan is looking for a champion to organize that. Okay, so for getting involved with Rotary, Interact, and Rotaract, we really want to try and bridge the gap between the three and get more information, joint projects, collaboration. So some of the activities, they want to do more joint projects. And for Rotary, we usually have Rotarians at Work in April. Rotary Gives Thanks in November. Those are when the clubs do projects. And so please include your Rotaract and Interact clubs that you sponsor. We would like to help them with continuity. There is a DOE liaison. Maybe we can get a charter school liaison as well. But these are the 7 priorities that we really want to share with the youth service groups and get projects in one of these 7 priorities, the focus areas. For HRYF, Hawaii Rotary Youth Foundation, this is a separate entity. And so this is where you get your $5,000 for the scholarship to give out to someone you you chose for the interviews, but it's promoted through the club. So this is where you need to fill out this form. So when you go to the president-elect page, the form for HRWF is on there. You would pick 3 people to fill the positions. Sometimes you have 1 person to fill the 3 positions, but we really need to have their contact information, because the one that you choose to be the scholarship representative, that is the address, the email address and information that is going to be put out to get to receive those applications. So HRYF is another program that youth service would like to promote. So safety first, we have youth protection. So we will have another webinar on youth protection and background checks. There is a Rotary guide that you might refer to, but we will have that webinar in the next coming months, and the club needs to be certified to be participating in any youth service program. Okay, so RILA, participating in RILA, there is a RILA committee, and if you can sponsor RILA students for next year, that'd be great. I think they're going to be looking at each island having their own RILA and then maybe a hybrid. Okay, but sponsoring students would be something that we're going to be asking for the clubs to do, and also get the word out that volunteers are needed for RILA. Okay, so youth programs, we have partnerships, expanding your reach kind of partnerships. We have Toastmasters for public speaking. Last month, we had a webinar on public speaking that Toastmasters did host, and they are, for the awards, they are hosting an award for presenting their projects. So youth exchange is on pause right now until the end of this Rotary year, but for next Rotary year, if you are interested in youth exchanges where we can send students out, and I believe we already have 4 students that want to go outbound to another country, and then we need to take in 4 inbound and find host families for that. So that's age 15 to 19, sponsored by a Rotary Club, and Tom Gross is the chair for youth exchange. Okay, so that those partnerships with universities, with other groups for training for youth service is something that we have done, and we will continue. So we're going to have career days. The personal finance training is today at 2 o'clock. Next year, we're going to have how to fill out college applications and financial aid. Okay, so we really would like to have your youth service participate in getting the word out to the clubs, to the Interact and Rotaract clubs. But he says, let's have fun with Rotaract, and the kids really gets a lot out of the programs, and we can give them life skills. Okay, so who wants to give out $5,000? Who wants to give out a $5,000 scholarship? Yeah. This is so awesome. Every year we give about $250,000 in scholarships through HRYF. Okay, but if you want your club to participate, you need to pay the $200 dues. Okay, that's due in July. You need to fill out that form that's on the PE page, the site page, to put in the names of those 4 people, the 3 people. So one is someone who can promote HRYF in your club and get donations. Okay, because remember now, they're going to start that thing where you need per capita, a certain amount per capita in order to give out $5,000. And right now it's $20 per capita donations from your club to get $5,000 next year. So if you don't get $20 per capita by June 30 this year, you will only get $2,500 to give out next year. But if you don't pay your dues, you don't fill in that form, you won't be able to give out a scholarship for next year. So really wanted to let you know that this is really important if you want to participate with this. Okay. And then when it's scholarship time, to help with getting the word out that the scholarships, the applications are out, and to send them to your club. So please remember to do this. Okay, so we're going into membership now.
Hey,
And-
Naomi, before you, we jump into membership, can I just make one comment?
Sure.
You know, I think this is such a great news story on what we do with HRYF. But I'll be very, very frank. We do a horrible job in telling that story. Whenever you think about it district-wide, I think Jeff mentioned that we gave out $280,000 last year in HRYF. You know, yeah, but very seldom, if any place, do you see us telling that story. And it goes back to the public information, the PI, the PR that I was talking about earlier. You know, it's absolutely crucial that we tell this story and we get it in the various medias, whether it be social media, print, TV, or whatever. But that's huge on what Rotary does throughout the state. $250,000, and nobody that I know of in the state gives out that kind of money. You know, but some of the other establishments, you know, they get a lot of press time, and they're giving out, you know, a very, very small percentage of what we're doing every year. So just a plug for PI and making sure that we tell our story. Thanks. Back to you, Naomi.
Well, actually, it's back to you, Randy, because we have membership.
Okay. Do we have Julie up first, though?
Julie is here, but I think if you can talk, did you want to go after Julie?
Yeah, I mean, Julie is she's the SME, the subject matter expert. I'm more than happy to follow her. But maybe it's better that I go first, because you don't really want somebody preceding you that's going to tell a great story, and then I'm going to tell an average story. But we'll defer to Julie anyway.
Hey, let's, Naomi, we had a question from Lawrence. Want to take his question before we start in the next? Go ahead, Lawrence.
Yeah, sorry to jump in here. Yeah, since we're heavily active in Interact right now, we're running into some challenges because of the staff with the school system. So you mentioned about Rotaract. Are there any clubs right now supporting or sponsoring a Rotaract on Honolulu?
Yes, actually, we have 4 clubs on Oahu that have a Rotaract club.
Okay, who do I contact? I would like to look into it and start up one in the IAL Pro City side.
Okay, we can do this offline, Lauren.
Okay, great,
Okay.
thank you.
Thanks. And sorry, were there any other questions on youth service? No? Okay. So Randy, you wanted to go with Julie first?
Yes, you want to introduce Julie? You want me to introduce Julie?
You can.
Okay, it's going to be very, very short. I know Julie has a pretty extensive background, but Julie is our regional membership officer for Zone 2627. She knows everything about membership that you could possibly want to know, and then some. So I will let Julie take it from here.
Well, thank you so much. So good. Oh, here we go. Thank you so much. So good to see everybody. Thanks for having me today. I have to say that might have been too big of an intro. I won't say I know everything about membership, but I'm a really good problem solver. And so I'm going to be at Southwest PETS. So I hope all of you who are coming, come and bend my ear. I want to hear about your club. I want to hear about the successes, the challenges, all of it. And I am also a club president. I started a new club last year. So I'm in the same boat with you. I've been through it, and it's been a really weird time in history to be trying to communicate and engage with everyone. So I hope some of the things that you take away from today spark some ideas, and I want to hear about them next week too. So come and find me. Okay, so first, let's get to basics. The things that draw people into Rotary, and then the things that satisfy most members are these top 3 things: the local community service, making that local impact and seeing the results, you know, connecting with others. It's never been more important to really touch base with each other, make sure everyone's doing okay. I feel like we've been through different, there's been very quick seasons of feelings and changes and the up and downs of the pandemic. So checking in on each other is really, really essential. And you know, your club can be that chosen family for your members. It just takes a little bit of intentional effort behind that. And then also those professional and leadership development opportunities. This is most strong with your younger leaders, with your Rotaractors. They are looking to engage with the club and make those connections. They're working on developing their career. Lots of opportunities for mutual mentorship there. We all can learn something from each other. And prioritizing that member experience, like I said, like right now, connecting with each other is so crucial. In the past, I actually recommended that people do a membership satisfaction survey or do the Rotary Club health check maybe once a year. I would say checking in more frequently now is probably best. So not necessarily a long survey all the time, but pulse checks, right? Like seeing how folks are feeling, their safety levels, their priorities, if they feel overcommitted, if they feel overwhelmed, if maybe they just, you know, need a break from some of the work and they really just want to socialize and hang out. I think that there's a way to kind of read the room, and some of those resources will help with that. And so you can find those resources at the website that's linked there. And yeah, it just taking that moment to pivot. You might have noticed too, if you've been a member for a long time, you might see a trend within your club. If there's certain seasons of the year where maybe there's a lull, there's not as much engagement, you're not seeing as much participation or turnout, maybe that's an opportunity to try something a little different, you know, shake things up. You know, even just this week, I know February in the Midwest is a rough time, not great. Wish I was in Hawaii with y'all. And so we had a Rotary birthday party, pure fun, all were welcome, just really focused on having a great time and doing service at other opportunities. And then enhancing that participant engagement, you know, keeping that spark alive for your existing members, but also getting those new members in, getting those prospective members in. For example, the Rotary Club of North Cobb, I love what they do. And they've doubled the size of their club from 33 to 65 members over the past 5 or 6 years. And how they've done this is when they have a new member, they do an entrance interview, see what they're most passionate about. And then within 3 months of them joining the club, they turn around and they plan a project or join a project based on that passion from that new member. And several things happen from this. Not only do those new members like see, oh my God, I can do so much more with the club behind me. You know, this isn't just lip service. They really want to know what service I'm interested in, turn around and see immediate results. A lot of times they turn around and tell their friends, look at what this club has done for me. And then those members come in and then they want to join too. And it just keeps going and going. But for your existing members, this is an awesome opportunity to get new ideas, to mix up the type of service that you're doing. Of course, you can have annual traditions of different service projects that you love, but keeping things fresh, giving everyone an opportunity. And I would say right now is a great time in the year to check in on some of those members who haven't been very engaged. Don't wait until the end of the year. It'll be too late. They will have already made their decision. I'm not going to renew my membership dues. It's just not feeling it. Right now is a great time, February, March, to be like, hey, how's everything going? You know what? I haven't seen you in a while. No need to make them feel guilty, but genuinely say like, I just want to know how you're doing. And if they're feeling a little lackluster, maybe it's an opportunity to offer them saying like, hey, do you want to pick our next service project? Like, we haven't heard from you in a while, and I want to make sure that you're taking ownership of this club. You are valued. And so what are you thinking? You know, do you want to bring some ideas? And again, you're giving opportunities for those new members, for those existing members, keeping things fresh. There's also a lot of different membership types that you could look into to perhaps engage the community better, or even the network of members that you have there in your network. So corporate membership is really, there's no exact way to do it. But some examples have been like, maybe there's 4 different people at one local business. One of them is reported as an active dues paying member of your club, but it might be any one of those 4 people attends one of your club meetings. It's an opportunity to get some fresh ideas from that business. It's also a way for, if they have, you know, a junior associate who's really looking to get involved in the community, help them with their professional development. And I've even heard of some cases where some clubs had so many corporate members that just the corporate members met separately once every quarter to talk about what's going on and where they can come together to better support the community, utilize their resources, and join efforts with the club. You've got family and a partner membership. This is a great way with, if affording the cost to join the club, if that's the barrier, you know, making it a little bit more accessible, adjusting those dues. You can also expand that to include, now formally, you have to be an adult to be a member of Rotary. However, there's nothing saying that you can't be inviting the kids to your meetings, making these really family friendly. I love one example, Rotary Club of Irvine. One of the members, little boy, he started coming to the meetings when he was younger, and they made him an honorary treasurer. So he was in charge of collecting happy bucks and counting some of the money at some of their fundraisers. He has grown such great mentoring relationships with some of the other members. And this has really helped him develop a heart and eye for service, so much so that he actually got a scholarship to college because of how much service he has done with the club. I mean, this club has changed that young man's life, and it's changed their family's life because they didn't have to choose between, I got to be at home with the kids or I have to go to Rotary Club meeting. They could do both. Associate, again, kind of like corporate membership, there's just a different way, different ideas of what you could do, but essentially it's trial. If you are confident in the value that your club is offering, and someone's maybe on the fence, or maybe they just need to see what being a part of that club can do, maybe they're a member for 6 months free of charge before then they start having to pay dues, or they pay a smaller amount, and then after that 6 months they pay the full amount. But again, if you're not confident in the value that your club is offering, you might want to assess that first. But this is a great way to kind of get that introduction to them. And then young leaders. Some clubs have done this where, you know, if you're a young professional or a young leader, you're still trying to climb your career, you're trying to build a family, maybe you're trying to buy a home. Sometimes money might be a little rough. So some have, you know, lowered their dues till the age of 40. But again, this could also work if you've got older members on a fixed income and they're struggling too. There's, you know, that could be something that you look into, or maybe membership scholarships for members who have been really incredible, but maybe they lost their job or they're going through a rough financial period, and maybe this will float them along for a little while. There are a lot of different ways in which you can help make your club more accessible. And also these are just membership types that are true to your club. When you would report them to Rotary, they would either be listed as active, meaning that they're paying dues, they're included in club votes, they can be a club officer, or they're honorary, which means they don't pay dues, they're not included in the head count, they can't vote, they can't lead the club, so to speak. So those distinctions there. And then expanding your reach, look for opportunities in which you might be able to engage either some of the organizations or members of the community who might not be reflected in your club, or who you're looking to build a better relationship with. For example, my club is actually sponsoring kind of this nonprofit networking event on International Women's Day next month. We've invited local nonprofits who specifically support women-based causes, and we're promoting them throughout the community. We're inviting folks in to learn a little bit about us, but really to find out what they're doing. In the meantime, we're building a relationship with those organizations too for future projects and partnerships. And then here's my contact information. I know that was just like real bite-sized look at membership, but I'll be talking with you at Southwest. Again, stop by the booth. We'll have some free resources, maybe even pick up a little bit of Rotary swag so that you can be spreading the Rotary message. And that's it from me. So great seeing you all.
Hey, thanks a lot, Julie. That was really great. Say some people, as you probably figured, are already asking about your presentation. Can we get a copy of that? So you can go ahead and just either email it to me or Naomi, and then we'll make sure that everybody gets a copy of it. So they're really, really great.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any questions for Julie while we've got her here, you know, from the north?
Vincent, I do have one comment, not necessarily a question for Julie, but I just want to make sure, you know, all the PEs know that Julie will join us during district time. So if you don't have a question now, or, you know, if a question kind of pops up, Julie will be in with us on Saturday during district time. And thank you so much, Julie. Sure appreciate your presentation. It was just spot on.
Oh, good. Thanks for having me. And
Well,
congratulations to everyone. I'm really excited for your year ahead.
Feel free to hang out and listen to the rest of the membership spiel that we'll kind of put on now. That's you know, specific to District 5000 and stuff. So we'd appreciate your comments and stuff on it.
Hang on, Julie. I think we have a question. Joy, you want to go ahead and ask your question?
Thank you, Julie. I love the idea of surveys, and we used to do surveys when we were all in person. And so changing that survey to an online survey has been a little bit of out of my ballpark as far as wanting to do all that in a Google Doc, so to speak. And if there's a way, maybe I don't know, the regional could put some surveys into a document where it can be done like through Google Forms or something that's a little more user-friendly for our club or for anybody's club for that matter.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good point. Yeah, uploading them and tailoring it too. Also, if you have a club that is really bad at responding to surveys, because, you know, that happens, you can always take, the great thing about the Rotary Club Health Check is it's separated into different sections like service projects, your meeting format, socials, all those different things. If you want, you could even host as part of your club assembly, perhaps breakout rooms, and have people take that, you know, take part of that health check live and then discuss how you can address some of the things that were rated low. So you wouldn't necessarily need to load it up, upload it, but it would be having facilitators helping collect some of that feedback. That might work, especially for those clubs, again, that are really not great at responding to via email or text or any of that. So, but yeah, Google Forms absolutely can be utilized, and it's a great resource.
Okay, great. Good answer, Julie. Is that answer your question, Joy? You're good? Okay. All righty. Randy, okay, I guess the ball's to you, brother. You can go ahead and take it from there. Thanks a lot, Julie. Appreciate your help.
Thanks, Vincent, and special thanks to Julie. Membership is obviously very near and dear to what I want to accomplish during our year of 22-23. And just to give you a little bit of history on District 5000, over the last 10 years, we have lost, we've had negative growth 8 out of the 10 years over the last 10. 1 year we grew, I think, 13, so pretty minimal growth. but at least it was positive growth. And then we had one other year, and that was the year that I was president. And I think matter of fact, I know the total net growth for that year was 33. And of that 33 net growth that we had in the district, 19 of those, that net increase came out of the Rotary Club of Hilo. And there's many reasons and things that we did during that year. And much of the credit goes to Connie and my membership chair. And I'll give her a chance to speak at the end here for a little bit and laying on what we got going on for next year and what he's got focused on for membership. But the Rotary Club of Hilo, at one time, whenever I first joined the club about 33 years ago, we were a club of about 140. Well, we'd lost 50% of the membership over that time period, down to 69 the year that I took over as president. And right at our heels was the Rotary Club of South Hilo. They had a membership total of 68. And being the competitive guy that I am, I did not want to be the president of a club that throughout the history of Rotary in Hawaii went from number 2 to number 3 as far as the size of the club goes. So we became kind of laser focused on Rotary and growing members. So like I mentioned, we grew 19 in that year from 69 to a net of 87. So I think we brought in, and Connie's got the numbers probably better than I do. I think we brought in 27 new members, but like every club, you lose some, but we had a net gain that year of 19. And how we did it, Connie could go into more detail on that, but and it's a good subject to kick around whenever we're at PETS. But again, we became laser focused on growing members, and we did an event every month that either directly or indirectly related to new members. One of the things that we did that I think made a big difference in the public became much more aware of Rotary is two things. One, our fundraiser, which is the Brewfest, brings in thousands of people in the community. And we made a very, very concerted effort our year that everybody that came through the gates for the Brewfest knew that this was a Rotary event and that we were giving back to the community from the proceeds from that event. Something I don't think we were telling the story for. We had a great event, but we weren't telling the Rotary story. Kind of as I mentioned earlier about the $250,000 that we give out every year in HRYF. We just weren't really telling the story, so people didn't know where those funds were going. So we did a very good job at the Brewfest at making sure that everybody knew that this was a Rotary event and the proceeds coming back to the community and worldwide. So I'm moving kind of fast here because I know we may be just a little bit behind schedule, but one of the things, one of the goals that I have and that I would like a commitment from all 53 clubs is a net gain of 1. If every club in the district will commit to a net gain of 1, we will grow the district by 53 new members. Now, I know some clubs will grow much more than 1, but if every club commits to growing by a net of 1, so meaning if you lose 1, you got to bring in 2 in order to get the net of 1. We can grow by 53, and that hasn't happened in recent history, that the district has grown by that kind of numbers. And one of the ways of growing Rotary, well, there's 2 ways to grow Rotary. One is retention, and the other one is bringing in new members. But the one I think that we've lost sight of tremendously is the retention part. And you retain Rotarians by fellowship and engagement. And those two go hand in hand. So whether you're doing a social or you're doing a community service project, you're engaged and you're socially interacting. So I think that is the key to us growing Rotary in the district. So with that, I wanted to give my good friend Lane a couple of minutes to talk about what he's got up his sleeve for next year and remainder of this year as far as membership goes. So Lane, are you on?
Yeah, thanks, Randy. Thanks so much for covering some of the stuff, and also I appreciate that. It makes my job easier. And thanks, Julie, too, for an excellent presentation. And you're making my job easier too. So I'm happy to follow you two. And thanks, Sandy, for a wonderful year. Helping us, grow our membership here and retaining membership. And like DG Randy's saying, retention is truly important to stop that revolving door of members coming in. And, Benson, Naomi, everyone here works so hard to bring the members, but, we don't want them to kind of leave that door. We want to keep retaining them with the fellowship, with our service projects. And I want to also thank, co-chair, membership co-chair PDG Nalani Flynn as well. And also a big mahalo to the membership team. One of the things too is, Dell talked as a foundation chair, how important it is to have our new members also give back to the foundation and the why. So if, all the members that, you guys have as PEs, please tell them, why it's important to give to the foundation. And some of the things that membership I wanted to focus on is the keys that really helped me in my year as president retain members that started with me. They also ended with me, and we gained new members along the way were a couple things. One was, as Julie and Randy said it, evaluating your club. As president-elect, you want to evaluate how your members are doing. Like Julie said, talk with them, see what they want to do in the club, and most importantly, develop an action plan and tell, once the members tell you what they want to do, develop an action plan and let's try to see if it can be done. Attracting new members, embracing DEI. PE Keisha King from East Honolulu, she's one of the folks heading up that committee, and join projects with the communities. Ask them if they are interested in working with Rotary, and maybe they may want to join Rotary and be a part of our Ohana. And again, as engaging our club members. So engaging them, meaning simple phone calls to check in, as Julie mentioned. And as Jennifer Jones said, deepen your relationships with people, especially during this time. I know we're distanced a lot, definitely try to go out in small groups or do a small project. And, that's how you deepen your relationship and keep that relationship close with you and your fellow, Rotarians. And the membership team focus this year really is to help you. Please reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to help you. I mean, really, we're here for you. So anything you need, if you need us to talk about membership in your club, we got a couple speakers here that would be more than happy to do that. So please reach out to us. And the last piece I wanted to cover that PDG Win Shoneman is doing is the Membership Leads Program. And I'll go ahead and share my screen right now. And I'll show you the slides here. And let me go from the beginning.
Lane, sorry.
Yes.
We'll be covering the Leads program another time. So
okay.
If that's okay. So if
Yeah,
you could
that's
just
fine.
do an overview of what it is, and then we'll cover the details later.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let me do an overview. So basically, prospective member goes and applies to Rotary using the RI site. Can you guys still see my screen or?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So you go to the RI site, you kind of put your name in, And then I think what's really helping this program gain like 8 new members this year from the Leads program is that phone call, and this actually as PEs, this is how you can recruit new members, the phone call, personal meeting with them, having a cup of coffee, inviting them, of course, to the meeting as well. And then from there, they contact the club, who it would be, and then they're invited to join. And who is the sponsor, when is the introduction, all of these things, make that introduction special for the new member. Maybe the DG can do the induction, or maybe the assistant governor can do the induction. And then after that, once they're a member, congratulate, follow up with them, have the club membership chair, the president, the person that identified them as on the lead, follow up with that new member and keep that engagement going. Making sure that, they're okay and whatever they need, please take good care of them and they'll stay part of our Hana for many years to come. Other than that, thank you folks so much. Thank you again, Randy. And thank you, Benson, for being an amazing trainer. I don't know how that guy does it. He's like the Energizer Bunny. So, and thank you.
Thanks, Lane. Wanted to give my very good friend Connie Ichinose a chance to say something about membership. Not to put you on the spot, Connie, but what you got?
That's so funny that he just calls on me like that, but that's Randy Hart for you. So, and I really don't have much to add because we just heard so many great leaders and speakers on membership. But I guess just speaking on what Randy said, what we did in our club in that year that we gained so many new members is the one thing we did was have, like, as Randy said, have some kind of event once every month. And that helped in both, as he said, that helped both in retention and getting new members. I think from every single thing we did, I think we gained at least 1 to 2 new members from each event. And another thing we really strived to do was brand our Rotary Club. And the same thing we did with membership, we tried to brand it. So everything while we were promoting it to the members, it was to say, this is not just a social, this is a mixer, a membership mixer. So the main purpose of this is to bring in new members and expose new members to Rotary. So we made sure that the club knew that. And another thing I want to say for that I take from Benson, his phrase is a culture of growth. And that's what we try to do, is to create a culture of growth within the club. And it's kind of a thing that doesn't happen right away, but if you do it consistently, and that's one thing I think is most important, is to be consistent in all of this. And so we did also, one thing that really helped us was Julie had mentioned was we expanded our types of memberships. So at the time, we just had one regular membership. So we expanded and we did spouse membership, corporate membership, associate memberships, and we still have those to this day. And it's been tweaked and refined a little bit, but those are the things that helped us. And also just trying to think outside the box, trying to be creative, trying to do different things than what we normally would do. So it kind of shocked the club into realizing, like, oh, okay, we can have fun, we can do something different. And last 2 things. There was no membership chair training when I took over. So what I did find was that if you go on the RI website, it pretty much has everything you need to know about membership there. You just got to dig in and look into all the different PDFs and the different trainings and stuff. There's so much on the RI website. And lastly, just to let you guys know, in Randy Hart speak, when he says he wants a net gain of 1, that really means 5. So anyway, that's all.
Thanks, Connie. And she's right. I know we're running a little bit behind time, so we will divert back to Naomi and Benson to get us back on schedule.
Okay, yeah, we got a lot to cover. And Connie, that was a good segue because there are so many courses on the Learning Center at Rotary International, and you can find a ton of their the classes that you can ask your chairs to take. But we also have a lot of webinars on our district website that you can see for our past training. So, you know, we need, we're going to give you just what, 3 minutes, Benson, for a break. We need a break, right? Okay, so 3 minutes, and then after that, we're going to cover what's going to happen at PETS, goal setting and Rotary Club Central, and then the budget. We need to vote on the budget for Randy's year, and then we'll wrap it up at 12 o'clock. Hopefully, we can get through all of this at 12 o'clock. So 3 minutes, 3-minute break.
Okay.
Are they going? They're not going.
Okay, well, we'll just start in 3 minutes. So I think the people that well, Randy's going, so you know, that's good. That's a good sign.
He's going, you know.
Yeah.
He knows where it's at.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you gotta go and you gotta go. So good one. Yeah. So Lane, you know, the presentation you did today, we have to do that again, right? So, you know, in the sessions that we've got coming up after PETS, all right, so we're going to do a transition training, right? It's really about, you know, the transition between the, you know, existing leadership and the new leadership. That will be a good piece to insert into one of those sessions. So I'll kind of coordinate with you on what that schedule entails, and then we can go from there. But yeah, good one, man. Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah, work that one out.
Okay, no, I mean, I gotta hand it to you. You're like the Zoom master now.
Nah, I don't
you
know.
and Naomi.
I don't know. Yeah, it's mostly Naomi. She just does most of the work. But yeah, you know, like that leads thing, I actually missed a couple of them because it was on a different email, right? I gotta make sure it goes to the right email. So yeah, if you can get those, it's really handy thing to do, man.
Yeah, but the leads one is really entailed. And so I think if we can get it closer to July would be better because it doesn't affect them until July.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, we can roll it into we have transition training like in June. So we can roll it in June. Yeah.
Awesome. Naomi, you should show your jib jab or something.
Yeah.
No, we're good. So yeah, so Naomi, I think we're good. Let's we should start rolling already. So what's happening in LA?
Okay, so is everybody back? Okay, so we're gonna go real quick into what's gonna happen at PETS. But before you go, right now, you guys should be going to the Safe Travel Hawaii to upload your information about your travel. You're gonna say when you're coming back to Hawaii, and it may change by 2 weeks from now, but for now, you need to put in your information. You need to upload your documents. So you need to really do this before you get to LA. So go to Safe Travels Hawaii, and you're going to put in your flight information, your airline. You're going to upload your vaccination cards in there. Okay. And if you don't have that, there are other ways that you can do this, but let's go to Southwest PETS and what to expect. We did have some preparatory courses that you needed to take before PETS. So if you haven't taken these 6, please go to the Rotary International website to take these Learning Center courses. There were also some homework things. And so if you can get to these, that would be great because it's looking at some of your data on how many members you have, the age, termination reasons, because it does have the reasons why people leave. And look for membership, foundation, and public image information so that you have that in your memory already that you already did this. So what to expect, we're going to the Marriott LAX. This is a phone number if you need to give it to some people. At the hotel, you need to wear your badge because it's got your meal ticket and your classroom assignment numbers on the back of your badge. Mingle. There was a suggestion to collect 3 business cards from other people a day. So if that's your mission, you can meet other people. Bring a jacket because it's cold, right, Randy? Those rooms are cold, yeah?
Yeah, they can get pretty chilly.
Okay, but your attire is going to be like what you wear to work here is a casual business attire. So if you want to wear slippers, it's okay, but it's going to be cold. So shoes are recommended, but you don't need to wear a coat and tie. Aloha shirt, the Rotary shirts would be really good. And we'll let you know which shirt to wear at what time. But for the protocol for COVID, okay, so the hotel requires when you check in, you're going to show your ID and your vaccination card. If you don't have a vaccination card, a negative COVID test within 72 hours of arrival, home tests are not approved, accepted. So the hotel has a COVID testing station on the property. So you got to go to the self-parking parking lot, no reservations, no insurance. It's a rapid test and they'll give you the results in 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, but if their counts go down, they may discontinue that. So right now, they do offer that testing on site. Okay, so all Rotary activities, you're going to get a wristband. So you're going to wear that for Rotary activities, and it's going to be checked when you get into the classrooms or the ballrooms. Okay, but the hotel sites, like their restaurants and their other things that they offer, the wristband is not accepted. So they will check with reservation with the hotel to make sure that you're checked in okay. So don't lose your wristband. And if you lose it, you do go to back to the registrar to get a new one. Masks are required for all indoor. So you can remove it only when you're actively eating, but when you're in the sessions, you can reposition it to listen to speakers, but masks are required, okay? For meals, okay, so we have the meals that we have are lunch, dinner Friday, breakfast, lunch, dinner Saturday, and brunch on Sunday. Those are the meals that are covered in your reservation. Randy has a reserve table. His table number 6 is on the right side of the middle aisle, and it's about 2 rows back. So for president-elects and AGs, you will get an invitation to sit at the table at a certain meal. So look for that invitation in your badge packet. We'll also give a list to the AG so you know who's sitting at the table with Randy, special invitation at what meal. Okay, so for Thursday, check-in is at 3 o'clock, check-out is noon. Okay, so there is a hotel shuttle and it's only 25-30 minutes a piece. So that's why we really need to know how many people are coming in late at night so that we make sure the hotel knows to send more than one shuttle, because we don't want you standing out there in the cold late at night. Get your room key from the front desk, get your badge at the PETS registration booth. It's only 4 to 6 on Thursday. Okay, so you go to Randy's suite. So we'll let you know what number Randy's suite is, but you're going to go there and get your backpack, a portfolio, and a kukui nut lei. Now the portfolio has a pen in it, but you should try and bring pens because you want to take a lot of notes. Okay, so you get that from Randy's suite. After 6 o'clock, the registration desk is closed. So go to Randy's suite. We're going to try and get your badge for you for the Thursday check-ins. And then there'll be some refreshments there too. So just check your badge information and we'll let you know about Randy's suite. Okay, on Friday.
Hey, Naomi, before you, just one comment on Thursday, especially for the people coming in at, we have a bunch of people coming in about 3:30. You're going to get to the hotel somewhere around 4:30 by the time you collect your bags and everything. So go to registration first. Do not go to sign in or register with the hotel, but go to the PETS registration booth first. Then go check in for your room because they will close registration at 5, and then then you won't be able to get your stuff until the next morning, whatever. So do go to registration first. Okay, back to you.
Okay, so we put the program into the president-elect page so you can read about the speakers and see what the schedule is. But the schedule is saying 4 to 6 for the registration table. So just check it out. And sometimes if it's a long line at registration and a shorter line at the front desk, you might want to do that. But if you miss it after 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, whatever time it closes, we're going to try and get those badge packets and bring them up to Randy's room for people checking in on Thursday. Because there's a bunch checking in like at 11 o'clock, coming in at 11. Okay, and Dennis, you have your hand up?
Yes, I do. I'm coming in Friday morning before the beginning, but not by, I don't think I'll be there by 7:30, depending on traffic. I'm driving in from the mainland location.
So for anybody not coming in on Thursday, go to the registration desk to get your badge packet. But it's the photo booth that's coming at 7:30. So you can take your photo later on. So no problem. Okay. So the photo booth is where you're going to take your official picture. This is the one that's going on the district website. And Randy would like you to wear the burgundy shirt with a kukui nut lei if you've got that burgundy shirt. If not, then the charcoal would work. The photo booth is going to be open from 7:30 to about 6:30, I think, in the evening, and also on Saturday. So you can take it anytime that there's not a long line, but take it with the burgundy shirt. Okay, so Friday is breakfast on your own. I'm not sure if Randy's room's going to have some granola bars or something, but you might want to check his room out. Okay, so opening session is at 9 o'clock. Electives are 10 and 11. So you signed up for electives, but the rooms are pretty big. So if you didn't get the elective that you wanted, or you didn't sign up for elective, you can go check out some of the other rooms. So the lunch is at 11:45. We have a district session from 1:50 to 2:35. So it's really short, and Randy will go over some of the logistics there, Randy and Laurie. So we have the core sessions 2:50 and 4:20, core sessions 1 and 2, and then dinner. Okay, so no host reception, so bring some money with you to buy your drinks. And then hospitality room is 7 to 10 in the aviation ballroom. Okay, so what's going to happen in the famed hospitality room? Laura, you want to let us know what's going on, what's going to happen?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Lori, and I am the D5000 Logistics Coordinator. What does that mean? Really, running the hospitality nights. So what happens on Friday and Saturday night is District 5000 will be in the aviation room. It is a large room. We'll be sharing it with 2 other districts. However, we have the prime real estate in the back of the room. So as soon as your dinner session ends around 7:30, everybody just comes right into the aviation room, socializes, meets people from other districts. They will also have an area serving libations, and there'll be water and snacks, et cetera, et cetera. But, our district is known to give the best, amazing aloha, bring the Hawaiian spirit. And this is a new location for us, but guess what? We continue it on. So around 8:30, to help spread the aloha, we have had some wonderful D5000 Rotary volunteers step up to the plate to give a gift of aloha. I don't want to say performance. I mean, technically you could, but no, it's sharing our love, warmth, and aloha with people from other districts. And again, this will be the first time we're doing it, and it will just be amazing. So we have some people that will share the aloha doing the hula, which is current district governor Sandy Matsui, yay. Assistant governor Kathleen Merriam, yay. District trainer Benson Medina and his lovely wife Zeta. And then we have the wonderful president-elect Rotary Club of Honolulu, Lila Berg. So really quick, thank you very much. So what is going to happen is around 8:30-ish, okay, because it's Hawaii, you never know if we need a 5-minute wiggle room. Benson and Lila are going to do an intro opening of the explanation of Hawaiian spirit and the hula. So they'll explain that. And then we are going to have Benson and Zeta do a hula. And then Benson, you are bringing your ukulele? You can't hula and ook at the same time.
Yeah. No, yeah, we got it.
Okay. And then we'll have Kathleen and Sandy and Lila. But, you know, even though we have 3 different songs, they may join in together, may not. But here's the thing. Anybody in D5000 who knows how to hula and wants to share with other districts in this experience, please do come on up. Because that's what we do in Hawaii. You know, if we're at a restaurant and there's someone starts doing the performance, music, hula, everybody just goes up. They just go up and share the gift of hula. It is amazing. And then when it's time to close-ish, because nothing ever closes strictly at the time at PETS, is that Benson will do the what is it? The Hawaii Aloha?
Yeah,
Is that
Hawaii
right?
Aloha. Now, I'll bring the words for everybody. Yeah.
And we're going to actually ask everybody in the room to do it. Now with COVID, probably not holding hands or whatever, but again, we want to share the warmth of Aloha. And I know we're just going to wow. We're just going to wow it. So that'll be Friday night, 8:30, Saturday night, 8:30. For those of you that know how to hula, let's just all join in and have a great time. Thank you.
Thanks, Lori. Just one other comment, just so everybody knows that Jennifer Jones will join us Saturday evening in the hospitality room. She actually will be visiting all of the hospitality rooms, but we'll especially do a participation hula, whether it's the hukilau or whatever Benson and Zeta come up with. So it'll be a participation one. So if you're in the room, we're going to ask you to join Jennifer out front and do a little hula.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so the course list and the assignments are on this PowerPoint. This PowerPoint is already posted on the President-elect page. So if you follow that link that I have in the chat, you'll find a lot of the resources, including this PowerPoint, on that page. Okay, so if you want to go back to that list, it's on this page. Okay, so that was for the hospitality room. Thank you, Lori, for letting us know what's going to happen there. On Saturday, so hospitality room is Friday night and Saturday night. Okay, so for Saturday, we've got this special presentation that Randy set up with Hank Rogers being the keynote speaker on Saturday morning. And this is, we usually give out the lei at Saturday night, but we're going to give out the lei, the artificial leis, to everybody that's going on Saturday morning, so that Hank can see a sea of lei. So because the PEs will need to march up with Randy for the program in the morning, we're going to have everybody come at 6:30. So you're going to stage outside of the marquee ballroom and then give out the lei. So PEs can give out lei for just a few minutes until 6:50, when you guys got to go into the room and stage it for marching in with Randy. Okay, so Laurie's going to have all of the lei. We're going to get them arm loads from them. And then whoever's in that waiting area to get into the marquee, that's where we're going to give. And I guess because of COVID, we're not giving a kiss on the cheek. We're just handing it to them. Or Randy said we could throw it, you know, like how the ring toss thing at the carnival. But anyway, Lynn, you had a question?
So are we supposed to wear muumuus for the hospitality room?
Oh, Laurie, that was, yeah, we forgot to cover that. What was the attire for hospitality room?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I would like to encourage, and I apologize for it, that everybody wear Aloha attire. Again, we want to share our Aloha District 5000 Hawaii. So highly encouraged. I don't want to say it's mandatory in case you don't have something. But again, we're all going to be in the back of the room, prime real estate. And so if you could, that would be great. And I think that's it. And that's for Friday and Saturday nights.
Thanks. Okay, going back to Saturday, so around 6:30, go to the waiting area outside of the marquee ballroom, get the lei. We're going to pass out the lei to everybody who's waiting in there. But the PEs need to get into the ballroom by 6:40, 6:50 to stage so that you can march up with Randy to the front of the stage, and then you're going to come back. So when you get into the room, find your seat and save your seat so that when you get back after you march in, you know where you're going. And there will be tables on the left-hand side of the middle aisle for the marchers. Okay, so you're gonna march in with Randy. Sandy's going to introduce the speaker, keynote speaker. Randy's going to be sitting on stage. Okay, you guys sit down. 7 o'clock is breakfast. Okay, from 9 to 10:30, we have course sessions 3 and 4. Then we have lunch. And then, usually we take the group photo on the stairs on Friday, but we're going to do the group photo at 1:45. So lunch ends at 1:30. Okay, we got district time from 2 to 5. So that means guys got to go freshen up and get to those stairs outside of the Imperial Ballroom or the Imperial Room. Get onto the stairs, and we're going to take a group photo. And Randy would like you to wear the burgundy shirt if possible. If not, the charcoal. Wear your kukui nut lei. Okay, so we can take that photo. Then the district time is 2 to 5, and this is where we're going to be talking up. We're going to hear some speakers like Julie Aubrey and Nick, who's our contact person at Rotary. But we're also going to break you up into groups. One group is by club size. So you can talk about, some ideas, issues, things that face your club size. And then later on, we're going to have it broken up by AG groups so that you can talk with your AG and your fellow people in your group about what you've heard, some of the plans, get an action plan, and really try and pull all of the information together at that time. Okay, so that's 2 to 5. Then we have the reception, and it's evening attire, but I guess dressy aloha. So if you want to wear your muumuus and your dressy aloha, you can do it at that time. So dinner and then hospitality room again. Okay, Sunday.
Naomi?
Yep.
On the Saturday thing, I just want to add real quickly. For the PEs, AGs, don't stress out with all this information. We will go over this again on Friday during our district time. So don't get too stressed out on everything that's going to happen Saturday morning. And just one bit of information: whenever we march in, the doors will be closed, and then the sergeant at arms will open up the doors, and we'll come in to the main ballroom, marching in to Hawaii 5-0 music and lots of energy. So, it's not a left, right, left kind of march. It's a march in with lots of energy and fun. So, okay, back to you, Naomi.
Oh, so are they dancing to Hawaii 5-0?
Well, they can dance, they can jump, they can do whatever they like. But lots of energy coming into the ballroom, a lot of excitement.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun because everybody's going to have that lei on. So it'll be a lot of fun. Okay, yeah. On Sunday, okay, remember it's noon for checkout, right? So we have district time from 8 to 10. And if you want to bring your luggage with you, you can bring it to that room or leave it in Randy's room. But checkout is at noon, which is kind of hard because we've got brunch until 12:14. So pack up your luggage. There's going to be a break from 10 to 10:15 for hotel checkout, but having 500 people check out at the same time is going to be hard. So 10:30 to 12:14 is brunch, and this is where you're going to hear Jennifer Jones. It'll be so awesome. But it's customary that we give the kukui nut lei to someone. So whoever you met, you want to give it out, you go ahead and give it out at that time. Or you can keep it. But anyway, for the reminders, wear your badge. We want the emergency information on the registration. So please go back to your registration that you signed up for and put in the information so that your AGs have the phone numbers. complete online surveys if they have it on the sessions, bring jacket, business casual with the kukui nut lei is your attire, and business cards, and no smoking. Okay. And we were going to take a break, but we're not. So let's see. Randy, anything else on PETS? Or if anybody else has questions on PETS?
Now, again, we'll go over it on Friday. So don't feel like you had to absorb all of this. We've been planning this out for a year now. It's going to be a great event. It's going to be good fun.
And everybody, this PowerPoint is already on the website if you want to take a look at what it is. And we're going to give you a one-page cheat sheet to show what time and what shirt to wear and where to be. So we'll get that to you. So right now we need to go into goal setting and Rotary Club Central. So Randy, do you have some guidance on goals?
I do, and I'll make this very, very quick because I know we're running behind schedule, and I do not like to keep folks longer than we ask initially planned. So let me just get to the bottom point. I think goals are extremely important, that you commit to what you write down. Entering your goals into Rotary Club Central is a 10-minute affair. And if you do the minimum, and the minimum that I'm asking everybody to do is to do their membership in their foundation. And you can go back to the past history of the club to determine what a realistic goal is for you. And keep in mind, what I mentioned earlier about membership, that at a minimum, I would like all clubs to commit to a net gain of at least one. For others, it can be much more. We want to have all the club goals in by now. I know some have already got their club goals in there, which is great. But we've got another week that we need to get those club goals in, so we're not spending time at PETS doing club goals. And I'm asking the AGs to monitor it to make sure that all 53 clubs have got their goals in. So back to you, Naomi.
Okay, great. So, when we talk about goals, the goals go into Rotary Club Central, which is on Rotary International's website, or My Rotary. So if you hear someone talking about My Rotary or club goals, My Rotary is when you can sign into the Rotary International. The Rotary citation is what's going to drive all of these goals. Okay, so the Rotary citation is coming from Rotary Club Central. So if you hear about why we're putting in goals on Rotary Club Central, that's what it's for. So let's see, the Rotary citation is an award to recognize hard work through the year. And you get the Rotary citation by entering your goals into the Rotary Club Central. Okay, so that's where you get things done. So sorry, I'm trying to manage my screens here. So the goals are to engage members, to foundation on activities for projects. And your goals are in Rotary Club Central. They need to be completed by June 30. The membership and foundation numbers come from the Rotary International database, so you don't put in those actual numbers. And then all the other goals, you manually will check it off as achieved. Okay, so Rotaract and Interact also have citation forms, and it's online, and they complete theirs by August 15th. Okay, so to be eligible for this Rotary citation, you need to be active in good standing and remain so throughout the year. And to be a club in good standing, that means you paid your dues, your invoice in full, on time, and you didn't get a reminder. So it's really important that your treasurer does make that payment. So Rotary Club Central is a tool. It's just a tool for measuring and tracking these goals for membership, foundation, service, and public image. And it has your history, of the goals that you had before, and it will tell you where you are on it. So what is it for the clubs is one-stop shopping, because your club members can see what your goals are and what you have entered and what your progress is. Okay, so who can enter goals on the club level? Only the president, the secretary, the treasurer, foundation membership chair, and executive secretary can enter goals in the year that they are in those positions. So now, if you have a service chair and they want to enter the service project goals, you can delegate your authority. One of these people can delegate their authority to them so that they can enter goals. But otherwise, it's only these people. And on the district side, it's only these people who can enter goals. So it's by the position you're in Club Runner that will dictate if you can enter the goals and edit the goals. So instructions, you're going to log into Rotary.org or My Rotary. You're going to Rotary Club Central, go to the year that is applicable for, review the goals, and you're going to select at least 13 to track. Okay, and we want those 13 to track by the end of PETS, and minimum your membership and foundation. Okay, so you're going to Rotary. There's several ways you can get there. Okay, you can go to My Rotary and go to your snapshot and get it, or you can type in rcc.rotary.org, okay, to get there. So you need to have a Rotary login, of course, and I think all of you do. But if you're on the homepage, when you log in, you're going to see your profile, and there's this thing over here that says View Club Goals. You can just click there and you'll get to Rotary Club Central. At Rotary Central, when you're there, the first link is dashboard. So the dashboard, you're going to see the global. So this is worldwide, what the numbers are for membership, gender, trends, age, and then you can see for your own club what your trends are. So what you do is you go to View Goals, okay, and this is where you're going to put in your goals. Make sure you're in Goal Central, you're in the right year, okay. You're going to click all, put in your goals in this pink box, okay. Check off select goal, and then you're going to save. So don't forget to save, okay. So when you're setting your goals, you want to see how they perform, what your goals are. In order to get the goals, you want to see how your club did before, what the goals were, and how they did last in the years prior. So what you're going to do is there's a drop down button here. When you click it, it's going to open up this screen, and here's where you can see how your club did in the past years on achievements and goals. Okay, so right here is how you've done. And so this is how you can kind of gauge what your goals should be. And working with your board would be really good to set your goals, because then it's a shared goal and they can have ownership in it. Okay, so we also need, besides all of those goals put in, and you want to try and do all 25, because in order to get the Rotary citation, you need 13 that are achieved. Okay, but for service projects, this is how you do it. You would go to service, the service tab, okay, go to service activities, and then you put in your information, the number of hours, the number of contributions, dollar amounts, and then you mark it complete. So this is what the page looks like when you get into Rotary Club Central. Service activities, okay, and then you're going to input your projects, okay. When you open, like add a new service, you're going to come to this page, and this is the page where you're going to input the title of your project, the summary, the end dates, how many volunteer hours, how much cash, and a description of your project. So the reason why we need this is so that we can see what, as a district, we've done, and also for Rotary International, what they've done, what we've done for projects. So it tallies it all up. Okay. Okay. So if you want your service project person chair to do this, you need to delegate your authority. Okay. Once you do that and you want reports, you can go to reports here. You can go to resource and get a lot of brochures there. Okay, a lot of resources there. Then you might also want to put in some of your really impactful projects into the showcase. And so this is where everybody in the world can see what you're doing. You take action. This is how you get there. Take action, develop projects to showcase. And in the showcase, you can sort by project, by country, and find out who's doing what. These are some of the projects that District 5000 has in the showcase. So a lot of clubs putting in good information. And you can also find partners from the showcase, and you would say what kind of partners you need. Okay, so if you have any questions on Rotary Club Central before we go to club operations, any questions?
Yeah, I do.
Then Lynn has a question.
Lynn has a question.
Lynn?
Nope, sorry, I need to put my hand down.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right. That's a mouthful to say the least. So let's back up here. Okay, so we're president-elect. Okay. So what do we want as far as goals? When do we start entering those? When is that something we can start to enter?
You can start entering them now as long as you're in the right year. So you just change the year to 2023. So the deadline for the minimum, your membership and foundation goal is by the end of PETS. So by the end of
PETS. Okay, so let me write that down.
Yeah, so you can go in now and play around. So Dave Mostrin says that my Rotary is up and running. It was down for a little while for maintenance, but it's up now. So if you want to play around and look in there, because once you set your goal and save it, you can go back and edit.
Okay, so you said membership, and what's the other one by the end of PETS?
Foundation. Foundation. But
okay, so now the other thing is, are we supposed to go, you said there's 25 goal categories. At some point, we're supposed to go and enter something for all of those? Okay. So what happens? I'm one that is a big believer in picking a few good projects and doing them well. So how would I address this 25 goals that we're, I mean, you know what I'm getting at? I want to be realistic.
Okay, so when you look at the goals, you'll find that some of them are on how many people went to service projects, how many socials you had, did you update your website? And so it's not all on service project goals. There's only one question of how many service projects you got. Okay, so so take a look at those goals. Some of them you know the answer already. So like for instance, how many major donors are you're going to get, and maybe you're going to put 0 because you think you're not going to have. Dave Mostrin?
Yeah, folks, if you look at the years previously, that you'll see what your clubs have done before, and that's always a good stepping ground. So hopefully they've gone ahead and entered those goals previous years. Obviously, we don't always want you to use that as your goal because you need to set your own goals, but it gives you a good, a starting point as far as what you may want to put for those particular categories.
Okay.
Naomi, let's go ahead and go to finish up on the budget stuff because we're down to about 12 minutes, and so let's do that. My stuff I can cover it all when we get to LA because we got to do the budget stuff. Sorry, Scott, didn't mean to cut you off. You had a further. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
I think the most important thing we need to do right now is to vote on the budget. So can we vote on the budget first? So so we don't miss that one. Okay, so every year the district needs to do a budget for the year, and we do this about October, November, and this is for next year. So this is Randy's budget that you guys need to vote on. And so when you look at this, if it's too small, you go to view on the top and you can enlarge this screen. But here the assumptions are that Randy's not increasing dues. It's still $60 a year for members. Okay, so this is based on 1,400 members that we have for the district. So membership dues, 96,000. We have an allocation for district conference, so that's 8,000. And then we have some funding from Rotary International to cover some of our expenses. And then we have, it says 4,000 for youth exchange, but that's a neutral, revenue neutral. So if we don't get 4,000 from the youth exchange people, then the income would be zero. So it's going to wash out. Whatever they collect, they spend. Okay, so RILA 2, if we collect 10,000, we're going to spend 10,000. So it's a revenue neutral item. Okay, so 113,000 coming in. And then for expenses, it's 113. So your bottom line is $52. So we need to make sure that we are on track for collecting the money and on track and on the budget. So district governor expenses is 22,000. That covers going to training, going to the Rotary International Convention. It's a little bit more expensive because it's in Melbourne this year. District governor expense is the largest one because that's with PETS. PETS costs us a lot of money to send AGs and to cover the expenses. So that is one of the bigger expenses in the district governor category. District governor nominee, that's also for training and for meetings. And the immediate past district governor also goes to training. Then you have the administrative costs. So for finance committee, we have the cost of the audit, which is 6,500, 800. So that's most of that category. District secretary has some expenses for supplies. Then we pay for a club runner. We pay for a storage locker, the Zoom links. Those are all communication links. And then we have a little bit of service projects. The RILA 10,000 is a wash. So the income we get, it'll be the same for expenses and for youth exchange. Okay, so any questions on the budget?
I move that we approve the budget.
Thank you. There a second?
I second.
I second.
Okay.
Rotary- Yes, I second from Rotary Club Capital A.
Okay. So any discussion? Okay, Randy, call for the vote and people can raise their hand.
All those in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed, please raise your hand. The budget's approved.
All right. Okay, so we've got 7 minutes more. Benson, what do you want to cover?
Okay. Do we have all the, oh, okay, so you covered all the budgeting stuff. I want Randy to have a few minutes to wrap up. So I'll just cover a couple of things on club operations real quick. You didn't even need to put my slide up. So here's what we're gonna do. First thing I want to tell you, everybody, is everybody like take a deep breath right now. This is a lot of information. In fact, when I was going over all these slides, I'm like, wow, this is a lot of stuff. So first thing is like take a deep breath. Don't stress about it, because this is stuff that we're going to go over again after PETS. So one of the things about PETS is this, right? So PETS is not really designed to teach you how to like run your club meeting, how to manage your board, whatever. Okay, when you go there, it's going to be the 30,000-foot view. You're going to talk about the 4 strategic priorities like a lot. Okay, but you're going to come back and you may get this sense like, wow, I went to PETS and I still don't know how to run a club meeting. Okay, that's not what PETS is about. All right, Naomi and I will kind of walk you through all of that stuff, all the logistics of it, and we'll simplify it down so it's easy to understand over the next 4 months after PETS, okay? So here's the point of PETS, is to go there and take a look at Rotary as an organization, okay? The width, the breadth of it, the enormity of it, that's behind you as the president. So that when you come back, you're like, wow, man, I have like over 1 million people that are out there just like me. I got an organization that's in over 200 countries. That's at 46,000 clubs just like mine. Okay, That's the point of PETS. All right, because we're gonna talk about conceptual stuff. We're gonna drill down a lot in our own group, and we're gonna meet 3 times during PETS, and so you'll get a chance to work with your assistant governor and to talk about goals that are specific to you. All right, when you're going through PETS, it's like this. It's like shopping at Costco, right? You got the big wagon and there's so much stuff there. You can't obviously get everything. So you're gonna go down these aisles as you're listening to people, and you're gonna be picking out the stuff that works for you, that works for your club. That's why when we split up and we do our training Saturday afternoon, we're gonna go small clubs, we're gonna go medium clubs, we're gonna go big clubs, right? If you don't know what club you're in, we're gonna tell you what size group your club is in. All right, so that we can start talking about specific things that are for your club, because in Rotary, I mean, there's so much information, but it's not a one size fits all. And those of us that have been in Rotary for a while, when we sit with you one-on-one or in a small group with your AG group, you'll be able to see right away, like, it's definitely not one size fits all. So everybody chill out, relax, and don't stress about what to wear. Really, when you get to PETS, what you'll see is that we come as a group. District 5000, everybody knows us. We come in like our shirts. No other district does that. So everybody there wants to be us. So don't worry about like, well, will I wear something inappropriate? Whatever you wear. I was laughing about Keisha's question. Well, should I wear this? Whatever. Wear whatever. Honestly, everybody wants to be around District 5000. That's why they had such a, when we left Far West PETS, like everybody started crying. So with that, I'm gonna just turn it over to Randy. There's just a few more minutes, but we have a lot of stuff to do. You guys have done a really great job today in trying to absorb it all. We will go over this stuff again, so no worries about trying to retain it. There's not going to be an exam tomorrow or anything. So Randy, let me kick it back to you, and then we'll close it up from there. We're about 3 or 4 minutes away. And we have a couple questions. Yeah, we have a couple questions.
Okay, let me just close it with thanking you and Naomi for all the effort that you put into in putting this pre-PETS together. If there are any questions that weren't addressed in the chat, please send them to me, your AG, and we'll get you the answer to them. And I always include the AG because if there's one person that's got the question or others got the questions, and I just like to keep the AGs, in the loop. So we all know what's going on. Benson, kind of nailed it. I mean, it's going to be a great event at PETS. You're going to learn more from your peers than you probably are any formal training, to be quite honest with you. You'll pick up ideas that, will just kind of pop for you that, hey, that'll work in my club. So key thing is at PETS, enjoy yourself, have a good time, circulate, don't, get confined with just being with the D5000 folks. Spread your wings a little bit there and enjoy yourself. I'll answer any questions, and I'll just say, the theme for the year for us is together we can. So I just want to keep that thought in mind as we go forward. No one's out there on a limb by themselves. Together, we can make things happen, and we'll go forth and do good things. So it is 11:59 in Hawaii, 2 o'clock here in Vegas. But anyway, if anybody has questions, more than happy to stay on for a few minutes to answer any more questions. But if you're hungry for lunch, or you need that bathroom break, or after all that, you need a good stiff scotch, please go enjoy. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Randy.
Thanks,
Thank
Randy.
you.
Okay.
Thank you. Aloha.
Adrian, let's start with you. What's your question?
Thank you.
You're muted somehow. Let's see. I don't see that you're muted. Let's see. For some reason, Adrian, we cannot hear you.
Maybe she needs to take off her headset.
Okay.
I just have one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
The PETS trainings, if we miss any, is there, we need to catch up on from the Monday night trainings you gave, Benson? Is there anything, or can we just wait until we get there and we'll receive all the time we need?
And all, okay, all of this stuff that we covered, it's all, we all have it on the district website, but you know, anything that you can do ahead of time to help it would be fine.
Okay, I think I switched.
Oh yeah, okay, we can hear you now, Adrian. We can hear you.
I got the shirt and I see all the questions about clothing. But is the idea is to wear that shirt all the time so that everybody knows that shirt, or what? I mean, I could fairly much do that, but I guess Saturday night, are we all going to wear the shirt? There's a lot of questions I know about it, but maybe I'll find out when I get there.
Well,
yeah, go ahead, Randy.
If you have the shirt and the shirt's available, I mean, it just it represents District 5000. It represents us all together. So if you got the shirt, you know, by all means, you know, wear the shirt. I know by the third day, if you only got one shirt, it might be a little bit smelly by the time the third day rolls around. Or, you know, it's. You know,
well, I can wear the shirt as like a jacket, because I can wear something underneath and then the shirt loose, and then, all right.
Yeah. Okay, let's see, who's next? Fink family. Whoever the Fink family is, you can ask your question.
It's Bruce.
Oh, Bruce, okay. Bruce, you want to ask your question?
Hey, Randy, Steve Dyer, who's coming to PETS, said his shirt was too small. You said you had some extra. He needs a 2XL if you have one.
You know, Bruce,
Randy,
I've got a 2XL that I could sell because I'm trying to find a 3XL.
Okay. Bring your 2XL and give it to Steve Dyer, and he'll.
I know. Tell Steve to call Dave. He knows me.
Steve to call who?
ordered Dave Mosdrin.
Okay, Dave, I'll let him know that you have a 2XL for him.
Yeah, I've got the red and the black one. So if he wants both, I'll sell them both.
Yeah, I believe I ordered both, but I only received one, and they were both XXX. So I got the charcoal one. I think I also ordered the one as well. But yeah, I only got one shirt.
Right, so Larry is on the boat right now, and hopefully we'll get it by Wednesday, so I can bring it on Thursday. So we do owe you one 3XL. And then Bruce, Dave is up the street from Steve, so maybe they can hook up and get that shirt before PETS.
Yeah, I'll let Steve know to find David at PETS.
Or just have him give me a call.
Okay.
I'll leave you my number on chat.
Yeah, I'll let him know.
So, hey, Bruce, if you have, if Steve has a couple of shirts that don't fit, if we can get those back to Naomi, or he can bring them, let us know what he's got. So, you know, we can get them sold at PETS if anybody is without a shirt yet.
Okay, I'll call him. He's doing our Hawaii Rotary Youth Foundation interviews today, which is why he's not on and I am. But I'm sending him all the information.
Thanks, Bruce.
All right, I got
Randy,
your phone number, Dave.
Randy, just to clarify,
your shirt is really for picture day for Friday, right? I mean, we can wear any Rotary shirt or Hawaiian Rotary shirt is really great for pets, right? I mean, you're not asking us to wear the same shirt for 3 days. Right.
Exactly. So
Okay.
if you've got other Rotary Aloha shirts, want to make sure that we wear this one for the picture, and then Saturday morning, whenever we're all going to be marching on stage. It is the two critical times, and then the group picture, of course. You know, we want to be in this one.
Right.
But yeah, I'm like everybody else. I got a closet full of Rotary shirts. So yeah.
Okay, so pictures and for the marching in with
Yeah.
you. Okay.
And the group picture at 1:45 Saturday.
Great. Okay.
Okay, and
I'm
Kelsey,
sure you'll tell us all again, because as Benson said, this was absolutely overwhelming. And we get a backpack. What is this backpack that we get?
so the backpack is for you to hold stuff in it, and you can use it throughout. It's yours to keep.
It's a gift.
Yeah, I guess it's big enough to put all this stuff in.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, it's big enough.
So don't put
And
too
the
much all over.
Yeah, the kukui nut lei, are we supposed to bring our own lei, or is
No.
that being provided?
Yeah, so
And
that's
if
what
you
you
want, I guess.
That's what you pick up in the room. So we're gonna have a cheat sheet that we'll send out that has it on one page on what shirt we need at what time and what to do with the lei. So you're going to go to Randy's room to pick up the backpack, the portfolio, and the kukui nut lei. And so the kukui nut lei is for you to keep for the weekend, but you can give it away on Sunday. Okay.
Okay, perfect. That works. And if so, we'll have hospitality bags placed in our room by the hotel staff.
Don't say laundry bag.
Yeah, no, you have to pick them up. Okay,
No,
Dennis.
Kelsey is waiting for her
Yeah,
time to take a
okay.
question.
Okay,
Okay.
Sorry,
All
guys.
right, thank you. Aloha, everybody.
Yeah.
I got to sign off.
thanks, Larry. Go ahead, Kelsey.
Hi guys. So I was just wondering, I do get in very late, and I know some others also get in very late on Thursday. Should we just pick up the backpack, the lei, and the portfolio will the front desk be holding those?
No.
Or should,
No, we will have all of that up in my suite, and we'll welcome the late arrivals. There's a few of you. There's not too many. Most are going to come in about 3:30 that afternoon. But you'll check into the hotel, and then you'll come up to my suite, and we will have all of that stuff there. We hope to be able to get your registration if Southwest Pets will allow us to do it. So we'll have it all up in my suite whenever you come in.
okay, it's late though. It's like 11:30 at night. So
Yeah, I get in there at that time too, Kelsey. So I'll be probably right next to you going up there. You know,
okay.
you can at least go up there and get a drink before you go to sleep, right?
Yeah. DGE, Randy, isn't that the time that we're having our wine tasting? At that
Yeah,
time?
there we go. I'm looking for Dave at that. Dave, 1 o'clock in the morning. Let's go for it, bro. We're all set.
I got a bottle.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, looking forward to having you there, Kelsey.
So Dennis, did you have a question?
I did.
Yeah, go for it.
One thing, I can't figure out how to pay our club's $100 contribution to the hospitality. That's number one. And number two, I think I clearly heard that Friday morning early, we can go to the registration desk and pick up our packet and assorted information. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, wonderful. You know, our club is so late because our PE resigned that we're picking up pieces and happy to do it. But the challenge is none of the forms and things are filled out.
So Dennis, I'll send you a link and you can pay online if you want to do it by credit card. If you want
No, I'll bring a check if that would work.
Okay. Yeah, make the check payable to District 5000 and that'll work.
Okay, I'll just bring a check on Friday morning.
Okay.
Oh, wonderful. We don't have to do the years gone by when I was president the first time, the club contributions of some kind of a 100 quantity idea.
Right. You don't need to do that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
We
Okay.
settled that to the AGs to bring in $50 of swag. So the BEs don't got to worry about it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you all for your contribution and great effort. See you Friday morning. Aloha.
Dennis, go to the president-elect page, the site page that I gave you the link on the chat, because on there it has the program, and the program has the time on when the registration table is open and when the sessions are.
Now, is that on our